Okay, this is a doozy, and it's one that I really didn't think that I would have to make, but oh boy, the way this actually is, if this comes true, I don't know what I'm gonna do for a year, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Please, vaccines come out, mRNA, PFE. I don't care about your stock prices anymore. I'm not even investing in you guys, but please, Moderna, Pfizer, come out with that vaccine sooner rather than later, because if you don't... Oh boy, let's go over this Craig Button radio hit on TSN 1040. So, there was a little guest appearance of Craig J. Button on TSN 1040 earlier yesterday, or actually it was 2 days ago. Yeah, the 23rd, it's the 25th today. And Button on the broadcast talks about just the overall monetary aspect, I guess, towards the NHL going over in 2020, 2021 and actually proceeding. Let's go over onto the Hockey Writers and read what they wrote about Craig Button's overall radio hit so it's easier to summarize. Craig Button said that because the NHL doesn't have a television deal that pays enough to make up for no fans in the buildings, if the players stick to wanting to be paid as per the original terms of the CBA, Button could see a situation where the 2021 NHL season does not happen. Button says the agreed-upon CBA included projections, and when those projections were done, fans were part of the equation. Without fans, the owners and the league need to adjust. He added this: I think it's going to take real, significant collaboration to understand that it's nobody's fault here and that maybe what's being asked for is not out of the question. But that gives the players an opportunity to ask, perhaps, for some things that are important to them. But if you ask me about the jeopardy of the season, listen, the NHL does not have the benefit of the NFL and the NBA, where the TV money is so significant that it can cover your expenses. You can afford to play without fans. The NHL does not have that luxury. And I've said this a few times, but I haven't been covering a lot of the escrow, payments, money, all that kind of stuff. We don't talk about that much here on the channel, mostly because I think it's boring. And I think you think it's boring, and I don't really think I can get really anywhere without falling asleep talking about that subject. I get it, it's important, it's the players themselves. If they're not getting paid, they're not going to play. And if there's no hockey players, then there's no hockey. I get that, it's important, for sure. It's just boring. That's it. It's boring to me. Which is why we haven't made any videos talking about the players getting mad and the players wanting more money and all that stuff. But the second you start mentioning how this could affect the rest of the league, where the players refuse to play because the cuts they would need to take in order to play hockey games without fans would be so big, oh boy, now we have a problem. Now there's a little bit of a discussion here that I'm kind of, it gets the heart pumping a little bit now that we're talking about it like this. Could we reach a point where the virus gets so bad, where people are not quarantined, people aren't wearing masks, people aren't socially distancing, etc., cases are on the rise, to the point where we still don't have fans in the arena, and that domino effect causes what would ultimately be the players coming out there and saying, come on, man, we can't play like this. The original CBA had us making at least this amount of money. But now, if we're getting a 50% pay cut or whatever, which is a number that's been thrown around out there, I haven't really read the sources, but that's just a number to make a point. What gives? Let's go over onto Pro Hockey Rumours, because they wrote about an ESPN article written by Emily Kaplan that is behind a paywall, but this Pro Hockey Rumours article goes over how some NHL owners would actually prefer not to play in 2020, 2021. Oh my goodness, it's not even just the players. Take a look at this. Emily Kaplan reports that Commissioner Gary Bettman is currently dealing with several disgruntled NHL owners who are upset at the league side of the recent CBA extension. Several of these owners allegedly have gone so far as to say they would not prefer to play this season if a lack of fans results in a financial loss. So, again, it's the money coming into it right here. And Craig Button kind of said it best on the radio hit on TSN, how people got to understand this is nobody's fault here. Nobody could have predicted a worldwide global pandemic. Actually, I shouldn't say it like that. I should just say pandemic, because, spoiler alert, guys, if you say global pandemic, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Pandemic, pan means all, so saying global pandemic's kind of redundant, but yeah, he couldn't have predicted this stuff. It's not really anybody's fault that the league is not going to be able to get any revenue from advertisers for fans coming into the building. That's not anybody's fault. So, I, for one, in my throne of peasantry, sitting here in my normal suburban Vancouver condo, and just sitting in my bedroom that's not really all too big, looking out the window to a one-story view, seeing all the normal people come and go, I can sit here just like the millions of other Vancouverites are sitting here and say, yeah, why do people care about money so much? You're getting millions of dollars anyway. The difference between 3.5 million and 7 million, I get it's 3.5 million is 50%, but like still 3.5 million, buddy, come on. Obviously, I'm not the millionaire who's getting a 50% pay cut. I'm just the guy sitting here talking about those millionaires because, hey, that's my own job. But it does kind of feel weird to take a look at it like that. That the CBA needing to be changed because it wasn't accounting for a pandemic is ruffling everybody's feathers, and as a result, it may get to a point where we may not even see hockey. Come on, bud. At the end of the day, though, if the players are in a position where the majority of them say, okay, let's not do this because we're not getting paid enough, I don't know what I'm going to do for the next year, man. Make more trade rumor videos, make more prospect videos, talk about the KHL full-time. Would you like to see KHL footage, commentating on KHL games or Wisconsin Badgers games? I don't know, we can do that. I was planning to stream a whole bunch of games this season, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that if the NHL doesn't go on because the owners and some of the players may not actually want to go through with this. But I just hope that the way these negotiations have been going on, where we have ourselves word that the NHL is wanting to start in January sometime then, early January, late January, I don't care. I just want my hockey for 2021, bud. And even though I'm just a fan, I try to sympathize with the players. I know I probably shouldn't, but like, I try to at least, so I can understand why exactly it is they're in a position where they are, and I guess it makes sense in theory why they wouldn't want a 50% pay cut, which is huge, but come on, man, millions of dollars, people fighting over millions and millions of dollars. I'm just completely out of that ballpark. I'm not really qualified to interject with my own personal ideas as to how to fix that, I guess, but, you know, the fact that this is in the spotlight among millions and millions of hockey fans from all over North America, and not even just North America, Sweden, Finland, Russia, all over the world there are hockey fans. The fact that we're all watching this go down, it does give us the right, I guess, to at least give our opinions, which I guess is kind of what I'm doing here with the overall sentiment in this YouTube video, though. But I will say this, at the end of the Pro Hockey Rumours article, Emily Kaplan adds that Gary Bettman will absolutely not allow this to happen. The commissioner has told these individuals, the disgruntled individuals, that skipping the season is simply not an option, citing the long-term harm of a lost year. Bettman will continue to go to bat for the owners, but will not allow a lack of progress in talks to derail the season. Fortunately, it does seem as though the players are willing to negotiate so long as the owners are open to some concessions of their own. If that is not enough for the disgruntled owners, it seems Bettman and the players are unified in moving forward regardless. So even though there is this controversy, this problem, etc., it appears that more people are, let's just say in theory, turning towards the Craig Button argument where it's like, okay, yeah, we couldn't really predict this, so do whatever needs to be done. I just hope there's hockey next year, man. I really do. Talk to me in the comments what you think I've enjoyed this video. That shows 99. And bye.